Hey, greetings. It's the Opia Witch, and today I wanted to share with you the tools of traditional witchcraft. Now, I'm going to be talking about traditional witchcraft, which is slightly different from Wicca. It's older, although in my opinion, traditional witchcraft is not much older than Wicca. Some of the traditions are, but if you really look into it, most of it's more of a Reconstructionist practice than it is ancient witchcraft. But what I'm going to show you is some of the tools. Now, you should remember that traditional witchcraft varies from tradition to tradition, and most traditional witches wouldn't use this many tools. I'm just going to have a variety, eclectic blend, and explain to them how I use them and so forth. And some of these you've probably seen from my other past videos because I multi-purpose between Druid, Wiccan, and traditional witchcraft. All my tools. And you don't need to use tools to practice witchcraft, but these are the traditional tools that I've learned to use. I just laid them out on my bed here. But first, I think I'll probably talk about from the stang, which is the forked stick. This is probably, in my opinion, the most important tool of traditional witchcraft. It represents the world tree, the access between heaven and earth, the underworld, the heavens, and then, of course, where we are now. It's also a symbol of the horn god. In most traditional witchcraft traditions, the horn god is actually called the horned one, is androgynous, is both a male and a female that I've known. Although some traditional witchcraft divide it into the horn god and then dame fate or lady fate. So this is that symbol. But you see, as it's like the male and the female join as one, so they're united. So again, a lot of traditional witches that I know of, I've only known a few traditions are monotheists. They only believe in the horned one, who they see as both a male and a female, as one deity. So an androgynous deity, although that's certainly not true for all of them. And like this is used primarily to lay the compass round, at least the way I learned to do it. And this is a blasting rod, and I don't use it very often, but it's used for cursing. I don't curse people. It's also used for other things as well, but warding. I use it more for warding and then protection rituals. But now I bought this a blade. It's not the same thing as a thaume or athame in Wicca. It's mostly just used for cutting herbs. Although some people, like when they cast the compass round, will raise the sky and say as above and so below and stab it to the ground, and it marks the center of the compass round. Although I don't personally do that. A besom is very important, at least the form of traditional witchcraft. Actually, these two, some group traditional witchcraft only use the besom and some only use the stang, and they're kind of used interchangeably, that union of male and female energies. And I personally, when I lay a compass round, I use the besom, at least when I'm doing indoor rituals, and then I tend to use the stang when I'm doing outdoor rituals. Cauldrons, I don't really any specific even big, small, any symbolism to them, like a lot of Wiccans, the goddess, and the three prongs. Cauldrons were just what people had in old Europe. So they cooked out of them. They had them around. It was used for vessels. Boulder and Pesto, I think, is one of the most important tools for witchcraft because with the herbs and spells and powders. Normally, fetish symbols, skulls, human skulls, even if they're fake, are used. Symbols of the ancestors, spirits of land. This is what Islander calls the serpent stone, or sometimes known as the keystone. It's got other names too, and it's also used to mark the center of the circle. Although I put a pinnacle on it, although traditionally there wouldn't be any markings on it, and it may not necessarily be as big as this. And energies sent into this when I ground. Offerings can be poured over it when they're given libations. Let's see, and this is a chalice. Although I got a fancy one, and this is one I only use for water rituals, and it's used for two purposes. I use it for two purposes, for the compass round ritual, and the whole water. I don't usually actually drink out of there because, well, it's gross. And the reason why it's corroded is because I put salt water in here when I do Wiccan rituals, and I like the look, and so I use this one only for that. I don't use it for wine. I have a different one for that, but there are other ones that you can, like I said, some people will add a cord. Like I said, there's all kinds of other tools that will vary from tradition to tradition. But for me, the three primary tools that I use in my personal practice is, I will show you here. Actually, I'll say 4. Let's see. I don't use most of these, but are probably these. What I would do is when I'm going to set a compass round is kind of like a circle casting, but it's different. It has a different meaning. A circle is more as a protective space, and you also walk in between the worlds, which is kind of like a compass round, but I'm going to explain to you what it is and the way I do it. When I do it, this is the center, like I said, I mark the center, and I will then I lay the compass round counterclockwise, starting at the north, and I will drag the broom around in a clockwise position. Some people will hiss. I don't normally use any words. Since I'm a druid, I will sometimes chant Alwyn, and what I'm doing is I'm visualizing. This is called the serpent's path. I will visualize myself entering like a snake in a round circle into the other world, into the underworld. And so literally I'm not so much creating a seventh space, I'm literally entering into that realm. Once I'm into the realm, I will then take my water and I will walk again, sprinkling water around the space. This is called the ghost path, and I'm pulling in the spirits of my familiars with the water. Water is attracting the spirits that are my familiars into the circle with me. Then I'm going to light the witch fire or the witch flame, inviting the horned one to come, and I will also have a statement of purpose at this time. Some other people will also have a kind of like a symbolic baptism at this point, where they'll wash their face and their hands, and they'll say, I baptize myself in the name of the horned one, or I don't normally do that, although I think it is traditional. Now, when I'm done with the ritual, I don't need any, I simply say, this ritual is now done, blow out the candle, I close my eyes, I visualize myself entering back into the normal world. It's done. I don't take down the compass round. It's not anything fancy. There's no quarter calls. It's a very simple ritual. The whole ritual can take 5-10 minutes to do. So you're not raising energy. You're not placing a spirit of protection around you. You're simply entered into a grounded, centered space where you are seen as the center of the compass. There's north, south, east, and west, although sometimes the elements are used. And I've also seen people call upon different spirits of each direction, but that's not something that I really regularly use in my practice, at least for my traditional witchcraft practice. But that's how just kind of wanted to share. Many blessings.